Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing amazing and good and wonderful. Malika Oma here yet again. Welcome to Tetanam, the podcast for Africans by Africans. Welcome again to the reading room where I will read some poems and share with you my headspace around when I was writing them. So this poem, I wrote it this year, actually. No, last year. I think sometime last year. Has to be sometime last year, and I probably shared it this year. It's called The White Winged Dove. Days vary, just like the winds, ups and downs like the wave. Some spiral like a ribbon dance, others crumble as if rocks, winds creeping up your skin and the sun resting on your goosebumps. The water is soothing to relief, blissful is what it is. But some can be misty. Crispy is the air they meet, rocky in the lungs content, dry and breathless, with nothing but a ring in your ears. Fear is crawling up your interior, sweet is now sour, and warm is now inferno. But there is light. The white-winged dove is singing a song. As the rain drops its final splatter, she sounds like she's singing for the final fall of eternity. The white-winged dove is singing. When I was writing this poem, it was I was really in the headspace and just remembering how I felt during the protests, during remembering this how the state of the country was just making me feel. And I use the elements of the earth in most of my poetry. So I'll use a lot of earth, a lot of winds, a lot of water, a lot of fire, because that's what comprises of the earth. That's what comprises of where we are. And I use those because those are the things that move and shift whenever there's something like an earthquake, whenever there's a natural disaster. It's an element of the earth that is doing the speaking of Mother Nature. And that's why I use that a lot in my poetry. And it's basically how I've been feeling and still feeling that it's very rough. At times it's calm, at times it's not, but I am still very hopeful. I'm still very hopeful and I still hold on to my hope. So, this next poem is called Collide, and it is actually not dated, so that means we cannot tell when it was written. But yes, Collide. The piper does not always pipe. The smith does not always hit the spot. The spot that always defines a moment that can last a lifetime, time in, time out of the doors cascading away. That can be time. Away from the mother who cried and carried the weight as the pain and the cry were soared down. Cry, my child, cry a river, rivers with the large dams away, dams that make a baby behave. Behave is the order given by the soldier, taken by the soldier who bled from the mother that bled for the father that went to a war that he did not call to, but called to him who prays, him who sacrifices to the saints that only oblige in the mission of the power of misery, but the power of the people will come together when we collide. This is me basically saying that we just need to come together. Like, we are all connected and we need to come together. And I don't think it matters when it was dated, because if it was dated in the 180s, in the 1500s, 2002, if 2055, 2090, I think it's still the same. We just need to come together and realize that sometimes, which is the case of most of the times, we are playing to a tune that is not ours. we are playing to the piper. And we have to decide, for how long will we let the piper pipe? For how long will we let the piper pipe? That is Collide. So this is my third poem of the day, my last poem of the day. The poem is called Who Are You? This is a question you tend to ask yourself so much in your life. Today I came across one of my old journals and I was reading what I wrote down, and that was in 2016 when I was wondering, who am I? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? Like nimekuja kudu, you know? So it's a question that we always ask ourselves every time, every age we turn, every step we take, every achievement we make, we always ask, who are you? So this is who are you? Do I know you? Do you know me? Who are you? We walked together, talked together, had a blissful bliss. Your touch on my structure, all I felt was a rapture. Your touch on my body felt like a fire from hell. The kiss of your lips was warm and crisp. The strength of your rod felt like a hit from the devil. With every hit, every turn, every beat was an inferno. But who are you? An angel of death? A ray of sunshine? Open the gates, we ask. Wide is my reach, and I still don't know who you are. Is it just a niche that I have, or an itch in my clutch? What felt like an eternity also felt like a misery. What felt like the beginning also felt like the end. Out you left them, hidden in their dungeon, deep within their roots. Out you laid, out you let them roam, to lurk in the wee hours of the dark. Slimmers and sliming, mockeries of everything high and low. Shut your eyes, I tell you, shut your eyes and pull away. Pull away and take back your laugh as they mock and mock and mock. I look back to try and find you, and all I see is the freedom that you have given. The freedom that you have given yourself to love and exist, your arms stretched wide, calling me to your oblige. Long gone are my secrets, little did I know, given to the hunter, for my skeletons untold. The scratchings were bitings, and the kiss, nothing but spiking. So who are you? Torn to pieces, to wander, to launder, to coil at your touch, recoil at your thought, still partially impaired and really still wondering. Who are you? So who are you? This can be interpreted in so many ways. So many ways. I can take it as a dance of good and bad with yourself. A dance of good and bad with people in your life. You know, at times people do things in your life and you go, by the way, when ni nani? By the way, you're like, ay, iki tu umedu, when ni nani? You know? And this can be a poem that reflects that. Where you're wondering, by the way, when ni nani? So, however you choose to interpret it is up to you. That's one thing I do with my poetry. I write it for not just for my interpretation, but for your interpretation. However you take it, you take it. And that's all I have for you today. From the reading room. Very excited for more episodes of the reading room coming. It's very exciting. Now kwamba jikoni twapika. The poems are poeming. The poems are poeming. Ule many poets, but ile yangu ni potters. Poetas. The poetas. There we go. Yeah, they're not poems. They're poetas. Let's see. Let's see what they have for us. Let's see what other creatives. If you are a creative also, you're a writer, you have letters that you write also, spoken words, songs, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out. It's been real as always. Tetanam, please stay African and stay very, very radical. See you next time.